like a perfect painter, tongue-twisting truth to picture promising protect and serve, while Floyd's spirit moved to a sky of blue and white. These are 2000's favorite colors. When the world posted black squares, you, sigh in fatigue, said, work is finished. This is how two must feel. Resting his gun on the nightstand after a full day of doing nothing to thou is an all lives matter reply. A double tap then scroll. He is having your back to the 600 murdered by LAPD. To thou laughs when your friends say the N-word.
Digital David out here. Yeah, we're gonna start the stream in a bit. But yo, real quick before we get into the workshop, just want to explain to everyone that you're not gonna see your boy on this stream because we have our guest poet to help us workshop, which is Alpharaoh. Won multiple awards. It's gonna be amazing. But you're gonna as for myself, you'll notice that in like the previous streams that like I've always been a bit distracted, and you know I'd be drinking a lot. It's not just because I've been drinking and slurring and all that, but it's because like to control the entire live stream and at the same time like trying to co-host and react to you guys in the comments and you know speak to everyone in the chat and all that is like it's a bit much. So we're gonna think that we were thinking that perhaps by me soloing on the board while Mr. Daniel Hees and a guest poet you know command the live stream, we think that this might be a much more streamlined experience. So yeah, shout out Retro, you know what it is. Shout out Miss Z Budgets. Hey yo, let me know where you're from, fam. Hey yo, everyone, type in where you from, because I know Retro's Baltimore, but Miss Z Budgets, let me know where you from, fam. And yeah, we're about to start in a little bit. I'm just gonna play this one vibey track by Miss Jess Roman, who unfortunately is tending to her grandmother's funeral arrangements. So yo, rest in peace to the goddess. And yeah, we'll hope to see Jess Roman, you know, back in full form on the Pen Click soon. Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna start in a bit, but yo, enjoy this little aesthetic mix right here, gang gang.
Telling strangers that you love them, praying for connection, chasing fake perfection, looking around for all your real friends. Sorry you neglected, feeling mighty less than. When you're 22, ayy, trying to get a clue, ayy. When you're 22, oh, trying to find you.
Daniel J. He's the Pen Click Point Man here with a very special Friday night live stream. We're doing special things at the Click. We got special people here, Pen Click family, future EGOT, right? We were just clowning about that, but that like really might happen. Old boy's an award-winning director, writer, playwright, poet, all of that. LA's finest, part of the Pen Click family, part of the dev team. We brought him here to do this workshop. Alpharaoh in the cuts. Hey. How you been living, bro? How you doing? Hey, so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a workshop of sorts, and we couldn't think of anybody better than you because Alex Alpharaoh's led workshops. I've sat in on his workshops. I've helped him with workshops. And that's a lot of what poets do is they do small workshops, and that can mean different things. Sometimes that means learning a technique, applying that technique, and sharing that technique that you learned with the class. Sometimes that means just workshopping pieces or a specific thing, right? Like I'm going to workshop this project that I'm working on. We're trying to treat this more like a writing team, like a writing group vibe, right? So it's like we're going to meet up, share work, exchange feelings, thoughts, improvements, tips, things like that we may or may not see. So as opposed to a traditional workshop or a more formal workshop where it's like, yo, write me 10 limericks right now. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do something a little bit just more loose and relaxed to where I can stay getting like smacked a little bit on the side and just have fun, really. Like that's something that I really enjoy personally, Alex, is like bouncing off work off of other peers. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and 3 poets. That is.
All right, hold up. So shout out to the chat gang for letting me know that they can't hear. Oh boy. Yo, this is our first time doing this, man. So it's like I'm very thankful for Retro and Angel and Miss Z Budgets. Yeah. Angel says my boy Alpharaoh, talking to him again. Oh my God, we did this like on 30 minutes prep. But yo, thank you everyone for letting us know. But yeah, Daniel, tell them about your day or something.
I'm getting a mad echo from you. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, word. So again, this is all dev. This is the first time we're running this. But yeah, that's a note for David. Whenever David comes in, little micro David, because we want to make sure y'all know David's here.
Yeah. Wait, so I'm not echoing no more, right? I'm not echoing no more.
No, we're good.
Right, we're good.
Cool. Yeah, bless y'all. Thank y'all for bearing with us too. Like it's always a learning process. And thank you, Alpharaoh, because you is always the guinea pig, fam. Every single time. We're like, yo, the first low-key, the first episode of Clique, pre everything, just like, yo, will this even work? Was with Alpharaoh in his kitchen. So God bless the family. We love you. God bless. But yeah, with that, we'll jump into this. So yeah, Alex said it.
No, not yet. Come.
Tech run. For sure. Well, what have you been doing, Alex? Let them know, bro. Let them know. Oh, they can't hear Alpharaoh at all. My bad. God bless. So, yeah, what's up, y'all? Who's in the chat? We got Angel. What's up, Angel? Alpharaoh family. Talking to himself again. Yeah, that's how it goes. What's up? We got Retro. So Alpharaoh's going to read a poem that Retro submitted, which is super dope. So tonight what we have is a writing circle style workshop where we took submissions from the audience. We picked a few of them. Me and Alex chopped them up a little bit, tried to find we brought in our own notes and we're going to break it down. It's kind of like the 2-piece a little bit, So what we were doing before with the two-piece is reviewing through scores, right? And we would like give scores, critiques, and things like that, but of established works as well as submissions. And we were kind of having more fun workshopping the submissions than we were scoring our favorite poems, right? So that's why we're doing this, as well as I really enjoy this personally as a writer. I really like writing workshops, and I really like, more specifically, writing groups. Like that's a huge thing I encourage writers to do is meet up once a month with the homies and just like share things that are in your first draft phase. Often that first phase, like it's so malleable that when you share it with people, you can instantly, it just forms it and shapes it into something better and more beautiful often. So I super encourage everybody to do that. Start your own writing groups. It's all Zoom based now. You know what I'm saying? The whole world is Zoom based, but that's how it goes. Yeah, that was a lot of my intention is I kind of wanted to just do this in IRL, you feel me? Just in real life. And this is an outlet for that. If we have time with some of these too, like, or if you guys want, I'm super open to bringing stuff that I'm drafting, right? Like my first drafts or second draft kind of stuff that I'm like trying to get notes for, because I would love to take notes from the chat from all you guys. But tonight we got 3 poems, 2 videos, 1 written poem. Shouts out Retro the God. He sent in a written poem that our boy Alpharaoh is going to read for y'all once we can get all this tech ironed out. But that is kind of the intention. The whole point of this was to offer the audience not only an outlet to share pieces, but also like access to, award-winning playwright, poet, actor,
chat. So we're gonna have Mr. Alpharaoh talk, and chat. Let me know if you can hear Alpharaoh, please. Alpharaoh, why don't you give him a little something? Spit a poem. Spit a poem.
Hey, so we lost you, Alpharaoh. We're gonna have to do a tech run. Maybe try David solo to me, and then Alpharaoh, you want to refresh, and we can take it from there. These are all good points too that we're missing, y'all. So again, Deb, tech runs at PenClick. This is a real thing, y'all, and this is like a part of the process for us all the time. Unfortunately, in the world of live stream, the only way to do tech runs is live, so we got to do it live. There is no real other option. So shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to Miss Z. Shouts out to Angel. Shouts out to Retro in the chat, bearing with us right now, literally helping us. If you guys want to like get like that associate producer credit for this episode, get at your boy, because we're just trying to figure this out. So thank you for your patience and help trying to get Alpharaoh's. Yeah, and let us know if y'all could hear Alpharaoh talking. That would be dope.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Hey,
so
yeah,
this might be a hella short. This might be hella short if we can't fucking figure this out like live on set. So, to everyone in the chat, shout out to the gang. Yo, it's like we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying, but. Yo, this is mad. Alpharaoh, why don't you tell him a story, and then people let us know if you can hear Alpharaoh's story, and we might give you free stickers if you're able to fucking decipher whatever he's talking about. Alpharaoh, hit him with a story. Oh my god.
Delved into becoming a meth head, precursor to the method, because it wasn't enough for me to know something conceptually, it had to be experienced. I was sick of living. I was lost and delirious, a slave. Um, all I wanted to do was to save
Can
my
y'all hear
father from a
Alex? Let us know.
grave. What's good? Can you guys still hear me?
Chat.
I think they should be able to. Like I can hear you.
Okay.
And the people should be able to. But yeah, chat. Yo, chat. Y'all can hear Alex now, right? Like you should be able to. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Angel said you. There you go. All right. Hey, we made it.
Yeah, we did it.
Let's
Thank you,
fucking
David.
go. Oh my
God.
god.
Shout out to the Pen Click, not only the Pen Click mastermind, but also the Scotty down below making the whole thing run. So God bless you, David.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. One second. I'm gonna have to do a little more editing here, but we're almost there. So Daniel, if you could run one more story with them.
One more story. Oh, with the chat. What's up, y'all? Hey, I love y'all. Thank you for the submissions. If you guys want to submit, hit us up. Submit your poems. If you guys got things you want workshopped, we're gonna be doing this at least once a month, maybe twice a month, depending on submissions, really. So, but once a month is always a good number for writing circles. I found, like, unless you're specifically, it's like a writing project, right? And you're just co-writing things. Once a month is usually enough. You also don't want to take away the appeal of writing groups. I found that, like, whenever I had a weekly writing group, it was just kind of more work than it ended up being fun. So I think once a month is probably it. Maybe if you guys like super want it, we'll do like 2 a month. But I think once a month is cool, and then we'll supplement other live streams with different stuff. Maybe David will make an appearance, getting super smacked again, because that was dope. Seeing David get drink a whole half pint of Henny in a live stream was pretty dope. We can do more reviews with Kuya. David's talking about also doing design workshops. So Kuya is going to be hosting and running design workshops of sorts. So that'll be super dope because I
think I got it.
This beautiful border, this whole thing. Alpharaoh in the cuts. We ready?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Try talking, Alpharaoh. Alpharaoh, keep going.
Man. I'm really excited. I got a couple of things coming up. I am going to be teaching 2 different workshops in the month of April, May, and it's probably going to extend into June. So I'll let people know soon about that as well.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, Daniel. Going to Nick.
One more time from the top. Welcome y'all. Welcome y'all to the beginning, the proper actual beginning of this live stream. Shouts out to Angel and Retro and Miss Z Budgets in the chat for literally, you guys just became associate producers at Pen Click. Thank you so much for your help. We got there. Alex Alpharaoh in the cuts. Pen Click family. Pen Click day 1 episode. Episode 1 of season 2. Episode 0 of Pen Click. There's been literally, we've lost episodes with Alpharaoh. That's how many episodes he's been on, to where we've done so many, we've literally lost whole episodes with him at this point. So Alpharaoh in the cuts, bro. Poet, actor, director, playwright, all of that. Welcome to the workshop.
Thank you. I love being here. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's always good to share space with you and Kuya and the rest of the family. It's always an honor, man. I love Pen Click so much. I'm grateful to be part of this community. Always.
Hey, and we're grateful for you. And we wanted to bring Alpharaoh to y'all, the community. So what we're doing tonight is we took submissions for poems. Alpharaoh and I are going to critique them, give notes on them, give constructive criticisms, as well as hype notes too, because that's a good thing to do when you are in writing groups. Like, find the shit you like. A lot of times whenever I lead any kind of workshop where we're reading a poem, I'll ask the class just at the very beginning, like, yo, what's something you liked and didn't like about the piece? Because just getting into that critical thinking mindset and like that gear, that's an easy way to do it. Just find something you liked and didn't like, and sometimes that's the whole workshop, right? Like sometimes that's the whole writing group. But what we're doing tonight, 3 poems, 3 different Pen Click audience members submitted. Me and Alpharaoh are going to do just that, offer you guys notes, constructive criticism, hype, all of that, some love. If we got time, which we probably won't because we have some tech difficulties, we might get into more of our own work, but I think we're just going to keep it tight to these 3. Alpharaoh, though, so
got the video on.
He does all the things, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, I'm super excited to bring our audience to Alpharaoh. That was a big, exciting thing for me. Like, yo, this is what our audience sent in, because y'all are bars. Y'all are fun and fire. So first up, we got the homie Nick Nova, right? Nick Nova?
Nick Jones the Nova.
Nick Jones the Nova. He submitted this. It's quick. It's like a quick little 16. The Pen Clique writing workshop. Again, the intention of all this is to offer you guys notes, give you guys constructive criticism, give you hype, give you love, and then grow, right? Growing through improvement and notes and workshopping and drafting, revision. Alex said something really powerful earlier, which is writing is rewriting, right? And that's a beautiful point, Alex. The brevity in that is
all right.
super lit.
We're gonna play.
That's the intention. So we're gonna jump into it with the first submission we got. The homie Nick Jones Nova sent this into us.
Shout out Pooh Shiesty. Get it back in
You
blue.
hear it?
No, I
You
can't
think-
hear David.
All right. Fucking shit. All right, Daniel, run it. Fucking.
Hey, more tech difficulties. Now Dave's gonna run this. We can still hit
I
our
mean,
Alpharaoh though. So
like
hit him
the
with the plugs,
vaccine.
Alex. What are you doing, bro?
Hey,
What are you doing?
man. So I'm working on offering 2 classes coming up in the late spring. I'm
Okay.
releasing that information too.
So I can get the audio to you guys, but you guys cannot talk while the audio plays, because it's good. You're going to hear yourselves echo if you do.
And there's that. I'm working on
Right.
my play.
So you know.
I wrote an ad of Othello, but we'll talk more about it. Let's get back into this. I know we got
Yep.
Nova coming up.
All right.
Dice game.
One more time. All right. When you guys talk.
I feel like I'm going into
Intense. There we go.
This is like, there we go. It reminded me of the first time I smoked weed and I listened to Pink Floyd.
Yeah, word. Oh, the audience heard that too. So the audience heard the echo. as
Yeah,
well.
Dark Side of the Moon, man. Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah, word, bro. That was trippy.
Fucking shit.
Yeah, this is crazy too, because we've never had these kind of. Usually we iron it out pretty quick. So I guarantee y'all, next time we do this, we'll have it figured out. Thank you, Alex, again for being like our test and our guinea pig and like.
All love, man. It's all love.
Yeah, our
There we
opportunity
grow.
for failure, unfortunately, right? Speaking of revision,
All right. Yeah. This might be the one Pen Clique Vaulton live stream. Yo. All right. It's cool. So maybe tonight's not a workshop. Maybe tonight is catch up with Alpharaoh live stream. Let's try to salvage this, y'all. It's fucking.
You know what? We can still workshop retros piece because
We can. All right. We can definitely do retro joint. We can definitely do retro submitted a fucking written piece. So we're gonna go with retro joint. All right. We back, baby. We got something out of this.
I could run back that piece that I'm workshopping, and we could like run notes on that too, Alex, if you don't mind.
Yo, this is kind of hard because Pen Clique is like we heavily prioritize and value like production, and this is our first time running this exact setup, and I don't know, we've done way more insane setups with the live open mic on YouTube Live, and that was crazy. And I was like, oh, if I could do a whole open mic with like 20 different poets, then having one other poet shouldn't be crazy. Oh shit! Little did I know. Fucking know. But hey, Alpharaoh has been there in Alpharaoh has been there since day one from like our prototype episodes and all that. So it's really dope. Alpharaoh again with us on another prototype episode. It's so appreciate you, God. Daniel. So I guess we're gonna jump into retros. What we saying?
Yeah, we'll run retros. I'll share a little piece with y'all that I'm like in the middle of, like, and we'll do that because Alpharaoh is one of the homies that I will be like, yo, can I hit you with this real quick, and just be like, hey, I'm feeling this way about it. And sometimes that's the one dope thing too, is like whenever you go to your homies and you're like, yo, I have this note, and they're like, yeah, I have that note too. You know what I'm saying? Then you know you're not crazy. Then it's like, yeah, okay. Then I need to fix that. Then I need to iron that out, right? So Alpharaoh is the homie that I do that with. So shouts out to Retro, Pen Clique family, always submitted to everything. We're gonna run through his poem for this. So welcome to the first Pen Clique writing group, writing workshop with Alex Alpharaoh, the Pen Clique family, poet, director, actor, playwright, bars. I wouldn't say MC, but I wouldn't not say MC. You know what I'm saying? In the same way that, like, I could rap, but nobody wants to hear me rap personally. So I'm like, nah, I'm straight on that. I'll just do other things. I don't need to rap. But we know you got bars. We know Alpharaoh got bars. But yeah, he hosts workshops.
Let's jump into this
workshop. So you're the perfect person to do it. So we're actually going to have Alpharaoh run through Retro's piece. So if you could read that for him one time.
Sure. Dope by Retro. I'm dope. I'm so dope, boy. I should sell every line, but I don't need to ghostwrite to leave you with an out-of-body experience. Inject my pen into your bloodstream so you can feel the depth of what I'm writing without the body experience. I'm so dope. Catch me in a neighborhood near you, infesting the corners, overwhelming your local coroners. I'm no foreigner to these streets. I've been on the heights, talked about in every song, but if I'm in your car, I can turn you into a stereotype. I'm so dope, I go hand in hand with money, but if the bills wither, you can lean on me. I'm a joint collab of rock and roll wrapped in a jade of rock nations and whatnot. I'm from the school of the hard knocks. We must not let outsiders violate our blocks because I put the streets on my back. But they're so cracked that if I step wrong, there'll be nothing left. I guess this is the road to success. Everyone around me looks for the plug, but they don't connect. And I'm so dope that if you're caught with me, you'll get a charge. Now ain't that an outlet? I've been in a dark place for so long, I'm just spitting to get out of it. I spit fire, inhale smoke, and rise from the flames. I'm not fiending, I'm Phoenix. Die in a verse just to die in reverse and rise from the ashes and do it all over again. I'm dope. You should have already knew that. Don't let those words go in vain. I'ma be the greatest. This the only way I can prove that.
Hey, Alpharaoh, the God. That's how we got Retro. Let us know what you thought of that. I don't think Retro, you know what I'm saying, to the whole world right now. So that was lit. Hey, you know what I'm gonna start doing, Alpharaoh? I'm gonna start giving you pieces and just be like, yo, just run this through one time. And I'm just gonna steal performance flair from you. You know what I'm saying? Just gonna steal it. Steal it. But yeah, that was super dope. There's a lot of things here. This does sound like first draft shit, right? This is perfect, Retro. Like, shout out Retro in the trap, or in the chat said it's a little rough around the edges, and that's the whole point, right? Like, that's why we're here. So thank you for that, Retro. Thank you for this piece. It's fire. Young Retro, the God, bars coming up. Off rip, Retro does something super fun that I like, that I do a lot, and that's like playing with rhyme placement in your pieces. So to run it back, at one point he's doing this fun rhyme scheme with like coroner and like corners, right? Coroner, that whole thing, and then begins a line with foreigner to tie it together, and then moves on to these streets and sets up like a different rhyme scheme. So that's a super dope thing that I love to see. Like, not only whenever you hear, and you see a lot of rappers do it, a lot of times with multis, like that's kind of the next level, right? Whenever it's like, yo, every single syllable and every single line rhymes line to line. Shouts out MS Boom, you know what I'm saying? But Retro does a super dope thing here where he does that, where in that line, we'll run it back. I'm so dope, catch me in the neighborhood near you, infesting the corners, overwhelming your local coroner. I'm no foreigner to these streets. And it's a nice way to like wrap up the rhyme. into the next part of the poem.
And what's beautiful about this is, this really gives us a very direct in look as to how you don't have to save the rhyme for the end of the line. The rhyme can live in any place within the line, so long as the meaning is there, so long as the delivery is there, and it supports the overall image of what you're creating. So the rhyme can come in the first word, it can come in the middle, it can come in the end. There's some nice inner rhyming that's going on, like with coroner and corner, right? That's a front rhyme.
Explain what inner rhyming
and it's
is.
also an end rhyme, which is beautiful, right?
Yeah, word. Hey, bring back what a front rhyme and an end rhyme is for our audience.
So there's different types of rhymes. The traditional rhyme that we all know about is the end rhyme. It's the last syllable sound of the word.
Check out Retro's comment.
The last syllable sound of another word, right? And a syllable is just the sound. It's the phonetic sound that we make, right? So the word cat is one syllable. The word catching is two syllables, etc. So an end rhyme is the last syllable sound of any word, whether it's a single syllable word or a multi-syllable word. Front rhyme is a word that rhymes in the front, like corner and coroner. But you can also rhyme corner with corn. You can rhyme corner with Cornelius. I was at the corner with Cornelius eating corn, right? That's a front rhyme type of setup. And so Retro is doing that very well with the infesting the corners, overwhelming your local corners. I'm no foreigner.
Hey, right? And shout out Retro on the chat. Mosaic rhyming. He said mosaic rhyming. I think it's called. Thanks for noticing, because Retro be doing things. You know what I'm saying? Retro's actually writing. But yeah, that is the idea, right? Mosaic rhyming is a perfect way to describe it too. Because that definitely is, again, MF Doom. Like, that's one of my favorite things. RIP Doom. But to be able to sneak in rhymes or stack up rhymes or do multi on multi on multi, or just creative things in general. With, like you said,
explain what a multi is.
For everybody, a multi, like multis on multis. We talk a lot about multis on PenClick, but that's whenever you have like multi-syllabic rhyme schemes, right? So it's A, B, A, B, A, B, and then in the next rhyme, it'll fit that exact same thing. So your first, every single syllable in the rhyme is set up so that the next rhyme, those syllables and rhymes match up exactly, right? You see it a lot in battle rap. You used to see it more in like the backpack days,
Tell them the big pun dead in the middle of Little Italy.
Yeah, word, the big pun dead in the middle of
Little
Italy. Little did we know that we riddled to middlemen who didn't do diddly, right? Every single syllable in that is rhyming, and you'll even catch, like, MF Doom, like I said, did it super sneakily, where it was like, it's more complex because it sounds like just rhymes. It's not just the same rhyme repeated again and again, but that is what a multi is. It's just multi-syllabic rhymes that are just stacked up next to each other to where it just sounds super dope. Rapidy rap is what we call it colloquially in the PenClick. You know what I'm saying? Like that rapidy rap thing. So shouts out the chat. Shouts out Retro in the cuts in the chat. He said, I don't know if you meant to be heard by the stream. Oh yeah. So yeah, they can hear you, David. They can hear you directing back there. But Retro doing that, so shouts out Retro for that mosaic rhyming, that playing with rhyme placement in a line is super dope, and it's effective. It's honestly a good trick too to like move on to the next rhyme scheme and still impress the audience. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's hard to weave together rhyme schemes, and a good beginning of like a good, you could take that end of your rhyme scheme and throw it at the beginning of the next line, and a lot of times that'll allow you to begin the new rhyme scheme you're trying to work with. So shouts out to Retro for all that.
And shout out to Wyclef, OG refugee, because he was brilliant at doing that. That's actually the style that Retro is showing us here by, beginning the next line with the front rhyme, and then he says, I'm a foreigner, right? I'm no foreigner to the streets, right? And then he uses the streets to bring us into the next thought. Is something that Wyclef does brilliantly. And he also follows the rule of three. And the rule of three is when you have lyricists will purposefully rhyme 3 words within 2 lines and then jump off into the next thought, into the next rhyme scheme. So
pro
he's
tip.
doing that very well.
pro tips from Alpharaoh to God right here. And I'm also curious because Retro is in chat. Is this intended to be a slam piece or like a bars thing? Like because this sounds like a 16 on like a feature. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, get on my thing real quick. Because this is he's using a lot of rap like simile and metaphor use here, right? Where it's a lot of good similes, a lot of good setup, and like if you want to hit him, Alex, Mr. Workshop, Mr. Playwright, it's our award-winning Playwright. Hit them all with that explanation if you could. I'll actually read it. We'll ask Google.
Yeah.
So formally,
Google, but while you look up,
no, we got it.
Go
So a
ahead.
simile is saying something is like something else, right? So a metaphor is often poetically saying something is something else. A simile is saying something is like something else.
Mhm. And the best way to differentiate between metaphor and simile is that metaphor is a direct comparison, a literal comparison, right? I am the sun, I am the moon, I am a lion, I roar, right? A simile is using words like, as. So I am like the sun, I am like the moon, I am like a lion, you can hear me roar, right? And it's exactly that. It's making an either direct or indirect comparison to something, usually in a poetic way, usually in a creative way, to support the imaging that is being created, right? From a writer standpoint, right? What we do as poets, or writers, playwrights, screenwriters, whatever you wanna jump into, is that we are in the art of creating imagery for the mind, imagery for the soul, imagery for the eyes and ears.
Word, and that is the key word, right? Like that is what you're that's what you use metaphor for. And simile is like, it's a little bit different in that. Like a lot of times I'll build metaphor for characterization or to build that scene. And simile, I almost only use whenever I'm like doing braggadocious things. I don't use it often in my work besides doing that. But yeah, they're both very effective. We see Retro kind of doing both here, which is super dope. He gets into like the Phoenix thing, which is like I am Phoenix, which is like a pretty clear metaphor. But earlier on, we see him with the plug line. Let me see if I can run that back real quick. Where was that?
Everyone around me looks but a plug, but they don't connect.
And I'm so dope that if you caught me, you'll get a charge. Now, ain't that an outlet? So this is super dope. Everyone around me looks for the plug, but they don't connect. And I'm so dope that if you're caught with me, you'll get a charge. Now, ain't that an outlet? And this is super dope because this does something. Retro's doing something here that I really enjoy that I feel like isn't done enough, especially in like trap music. I want to say, I mean, trap music gets enough flack. So, and I love trap music. So God bless. But he follows through on his metaphors and his similes as well. So it's not just one thing, right? It's not just one concept or one moment or one line. There's little sneaky things. I want to know as well, Retro, because you're in chat, if that whole Bill Withers bit, which is dope, right? But if the Bill Withers, you can lean on me. I want to know though, if the setup for that, I'm so dope, I go hand to hand with money. But if the Bill Withers, you can lean on me. That's like a little grandma's hand thing. You know what I'm saying? Like sneaking in that like grandma's hand reference. Just again, another example of that, like kind of set up. Because we see Retro do that later with the plug line. It's a hit, it's a setup, it's a hit, and then it's a follow through. And that follow through can like be a game changer for a piece.
Well, one thing that I noticed that's really cool is Retro's lines are very effective when we talk about economy of syllables, economy of line usage, right? What's interesting when we're working with free verse poetry, whether it's emceeing, whether it's spoken word, whether it's just straight lyricism, and I think that there's various examples of all three of those things in this piece, right? It's just like what you said right now with the with the Bill Withers line and then leaning on me. That's such a dope reference, and it's clear because it's concise. I'm so dope, I go hand in hand with money. but if the bill withers, you can lean on me, right? And then you can even play with the delivery later, right? Because I haven't heard Retro do this, but you can, you could go, I'm so dope, I go hand in hand with money, but if the bill withers, you can lean on me, right?
Yeah.
And then it highlights, it accentuates the purpose, it makes it pop, right? Going back real quickly to the line about being, looking for the plug. Like, that's a brilliant line, man. That's a brilliant line. And it gets lost with the extra verbiage, right? Everyone around me looks for the plug, but they don't connect. I'm so dope that if you're caught with me, you'll get a charge. Now, ain't that an outlet, right? We're looking at economy of lines here, right? It's not as clear cut and concise as the lean on me line, because this is a thought that's being expanded on, right? And I think that this is a good opportunity to look at how you can economize wordplay to get more directly into the point, the way that you did with the lean on me line, which is brilliant, right? Yeah, that's just a thought that I had, and I know that Daniel has some other lines that he loves too about this piece.
Yeah, word. And we had like a brief conversation about all of this before. The one thing that we do see here is Retro doing that developmental thing that eventually you grow out of pretty early. And we see him like doing both here, where he's super tight and concise with his metaphors and his syllable count. And then later as well, we see where he has a couple extra syllables that like omitting would make them super bars and like super performance bars. Like we came across like the Phoenix line. I spit fire, inhale smoke, and rise from the flames. I'm not fiending, I'm Phoenix. Die in a verse just to die in reverse, bro, which is bars, bro. Die in a verse just to die in reverse. With the Phoenix setup, like that's a super sneaky, like you gotta be really listening to hit it, but everybody that's really listening, like they just got blown away by that, you know what I'm saying? But then he goes on to say, and rise from the ashes and do it all over again. I'm dope, you should have already knew that, and don't let these words go in vain. And there's a couple syllables here, again, like when we're talking about syllable count, that I feel like, and Alex actually brought a lot of this to my attention and then did that great Alpharaoh thing where he read it again, so we'll probably ask him to do it. But like, and rise from the ashes and do it all over again, you know what I'm saying? You don't need to always tie things together with that and, you know what I'm saying? Especially with performance emphasis. That could be a moment. That could be your audience will see you doing that, especially with poetry. Like they'll see that whenever they're watching you. So you don't necessarily need to do that, right? Die in reverse, just to die in reverse. Rise from the ashes, do it all over again. So you could take those ands out, and then your syllable count's smaller, and it's just more fluid. It's more of it goes from being like something that you hear to something you feel, right? And those ands and does, that's what people don't realize. A lot of times what gets lost in those ands and does is the feeling and the intention of the piece and the line. Oh, did we lose Alex?
All right, let me hold on. Yep, your boy's back in again. I'm gonna reset. I'm gonna refresh Alex's stuff. So, Daniel, keep on going about Mr. Retro's poem. Dope poem, by the way.
Yeah, so shout out Retro. He said this is
actually, let me give a couple of takes too, right? So right quick, I just want to say that Retro, I think your piece is fire. Like you do a lot of that dope battle rap shit, and of like the like the what we call word association schemes, which is really like stacking metaphors and metaphors. So throughout, you have like you're using the metaphor of drugs, and because so that means that all the metaphors in the rest of this poem is informed by, all right, we're gonna talk some drug talk, right? So when he says die in vain, like in your veins, like people OD, right? So, that's why it's spelled V-E-I-N, not V-A-I-N or whatever. And I'm trying to do this while I fix Mr. Alpharaoh's audio, but I can't do it. So I'm gonna duck out and Alpharaoh, keep going.
Hey, so yeah, this is super dope, Retro. Again, the only real critical note that we have was that, like, and Alpharaoh says it a lot. He said it on our show in his episode. Go check it out, season 2, episode 1. Alex Alpharaoh, the God Penclick family, playwright, actor, director, future EGOT. I'm gonna say here right now. You know what I'm saying? Or you have to earn your syllables, and you have to make sure that every syllable in a poem is intentional. Because that's even something that I'll do with my work is count my syllables, make sure that each syllable is intentional, and find words that work. There may be times where you're saying this thing in 3 syllables and there's a word that may say it in 1, and tightening that up just often can make it sound cooler.
We're gonna have Alpharaoh. Can you try talking? Nope. All right.
Nope, still not.
Alpharaoh, gonna need you to refresh your own browser. All righty. Let's do that.
Let's go back. But yeah, that was really the only note we have for you, Retro. Like, that was the big thing. This feels like a second first draft. This also, that note of like the ands and thes, for me personally, a lot of those fall off in performance.
Can you hear me?
There we go. I can hear you, Alpharaoh. Can the audience hear you?
All right, cool. Can the audience hear me?
That's the real question. So I'm curious for that, Retro. If you perform this live, those ands and those extra syllables or omittable syllables, those might just fall off organically.
Yep, they should be able to hear Alpharaoh, so we should be good.
Can they hear me? Yeah, because those words are conjunctions, right? That's what they're called in grammar. They're conjunction words that tie together other words that formulate the thought. But like what I was gonna say is, especially in that line, and rise from the ashes and do it all over again, you could really economize by removing the and, the and all. So and, the, and all, and it would sound like this: die in a verse just to die in reverse, rise from ashes and do it over again.
I'm dope. Hey,
exactly.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we're coming back to that echo, right? The technique of repetition is purposeful, because every time you're telling us that you're dope, it creates an opportunity for the audience to understand a different perspective of dopeness, right? So you don't want the I'm dope to sound the same every single time. You want I'm dope to be a reflection of whatever it is that you just said or whatever it is you're going to say, right?
Hey, yeah, that acting bit too, because there is opportunity here for him to play with that a dope, right? Like early on, he's saying it in conjunction with like the drug abuse and the drug dealer metaphors and things like that. So maybe you reflect some of that. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe you say it more to tell that story or to characterize the words. And that's what's dope about poetry, is you see so much characterization and storytelling and exposition and shit just stuffed into performances of spoken word, where you have 2 or 3 lines to make the audience understand that this was my intention. So you got to say it in this way, or else it'll go right over their head sometimes. Your concept will be completely missed. So this concept, I don't think suffers from that, but that is something he could do, is like play with his performance and his acting and like that inflection with the different dopes, because there is almost like a narrative, like 2-3 different things that he could act out dope being, right?
Right, because it's the equivalent of a synonym, right? When you're saying dope, although you're saying the same word, you can have multiple meanings within the same word, right? And the meanings can come from the way that you're delivering the word, right? It's just like there's a million ways to say I love you, right? Depending on the mood, depending on the feeling, depending on the circumstance. And that's exactly what you're demonstrating here with the I'm dope line. I'm dope, I'm so dope, I've been dope, right? I am dope could be like what Daniel just said. It could be a reference to drug. It could be a reference to being amazing. It could be a reference to being dumb. Because when you're a dope, it's like, oh, look at him, he's such a dope, right? That's also a reference to somebody that isn't all here, right? So it's all about intention in delivery. It's about what's happening here and how it's created here that gives us the intonation that we as an audience need in order to understand the deeper meaning of the message that you're giving us.
Hey, shouts out to Alpharaoh, the god with the knowledge for Retro, the family, Pen Clique family. And Retro's a young too. Retro's a young writer, which is super dope. Like, I love meeting like early 20s writers that are writing at his caliber, because it's like, yo, bro, you're gonna be so fire when you're like, soon, fam. Like, you're gonna level
22.
up. Yeah, for real. And it's like you're already leveling up. It's already clear. Every single piece that Retro sends us is like leveling up. It's just really fun to see those people, because often in poetry too is you'll see artists, spoken word artists, that'll develop, get to their thing, right? And then that's what they are. You know what I'm saying? And it's really fun to see younger writers, because they're always developing, they're always writing about different things and in different ways, and like you get to see a lot of that development. And Retro is super lit, because whenever you're already writing at this caliber, like I can't wait to see what Retro does throughout his career, right? Like next year, and then 5 years and 10 years, Retro, bro, you're gonna be beast, bro. You're gonna be right here with us, you feel me, doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, and the delivery is always something that we can continue to work on, right? As an actor, delivery has to do not just with the way that you're saying the words and the intention behind the words, but also how you position yourself to deliver those words, right? One of my least favorite things to observe poets, MCs, monologuists do is that they tend to, like, they kind of get on their tippy toes, right?
Yeah.
And that's a real common thing, or they tend to sway, right? How do you allow the question is, how do you allow the words to affect you, so that in turn the way that you are being stimulated internally allows you to give the delivery of those words, right? Because like I read your piece, Retro. I read it several times, but I didn't read it out loud to myself. And the reason why I didn't read it out loud to myself was because I wanted to give myself the opportunity to be surprised by the impact that your words were going to have on me as a performer, as I was delivering it, right? And that's what we want to aspire to as performers, as spoken word artists, as monologuists, as lyricists, right? We want to be able to hit the audience with something that they're not expecting. And the way that we do that is not so much in the words oftentimes, but in the way that we're delivering it, right? Overwhelming your local coroners, right? Like if I would have been sitting in the audience and you hit me with that line for the first time, and you're giving me the intention of all of the people that you have known or have witnessed die in this last year alone, and you bring that to the surface with the delivery of overwhelming your local coroners, I'm no foreigner to these streets.
Hey.
Right? It gives us that heightened elevation that this language allows us to take advantage of, right? Because this is elevated language, right? So that's what we crave when we go and we sit at these open mics, at these slams, at these festivals, right? Even what we're doing right now, we crave that creative expression, and you're doing it brilliantly. Now, I would love to hear you do it, and just give us all you got with it, you know?
Yeah, and that's a great acting thing as well. Like, that's a great lesson that I learned from actors. Don't show, you're not here to tell anybody anything. You know what I'm saying? It's a show. Go show them what it says on that paper. Don't tell them. Nobody wants you to tell them what a script says, right? They want you to show them what a script says. And that's the difference between like oration and performance poetry. Oration is often you just reciting a monologue or doing, this is the piece, right? And I'm just repeating it. right? Performance poetry is about showing them. It's an amalgamation of acting and writing and performance and on the spot, live, in the moment. Like, that's the crazy thing about slam, is you are kind of doing all of those things. It is kind of your own little mini, it can be, at least if your bars like Retro and you put in the work and like you do the performance work as well. It could be a little like story, a movie, right? Like, you can bring somebody to tears with a 2-3 minute slam piece in a way that a 3-hour movie can, right? I've wept during love pieces, just like watching The Notebook, you feel me? And like, that's the dope thing we get to do as poets, is we get to be writers, directors, producers, all for this three minutes. And that's what you have the potential to do as like a slam poet and a spoken word artist, is lead the audience into this whole story and this whole world. But you got to do that thing that Alex is describing. You have to show them, you have to internalize it and believe it and mean it, and make it so much a part of you that it comes out just like you need it to. Shout out Sensei Prototype, because he said something really dope to me recently and on the show. He said nobody remembers the lines, right? They remember how the lines make you feel and like how they felt. And that's really what that's what we're doing as poets. Like, we're trying to elevated language, bro. Like, that is really the descriptive, right? We're trying to use language to display these concepts, tell these stories, share these pains and joys and all of that. So big ups to Retro for this piece, because that beautiful conversation. We love this shit. We love y'all. Bars. Keep it up, Retro.
Yeah.
Trim the fat a little bit. Watch your hands and nudge, your conjunction game. Tighten your conjunction game up. And then, yeah, bro, if you want to send us a video of you performing this, Retro, just so we could like see that, that would be dope. If you ever do.
Definitely looking forward to seeing that, hearing that. And yeah, I think that's about all we can run for this particular live stream, because I still can't get all the audio right. So thank you very much, Retro, for all that. But yeah, y'all have any news or Alpharaoh? It's been a while since like we really chopped it up, bro. It's like, yeah, what is it like to be a professional theater actor in pandemic, man? Like, what have you been doing to keep busy and active and paid?
Man, it fucking sucks, bro. Like, the industry is on life support right now. You know, they're trying to get a law passed in California. I think it's SB 805 or 802 that'll keep theaters alive in California, because my industry, basically, I was booked for the whole year 2020 for me to be touring and doing, you know, speaking engagements and things like that. And then the pandemic hit, and then it all went away. I lost all of it, you know? And so a lot of the work that I've been doing, I've had to go remote and do a lot of teaching. I've done a lot of writing. I completed a revision of my spoken word poetry piece, which is homage to Shakespeare. It's an homage to Othello. It's called O Dog, and Angelino Take on Othello. It's a full-length play written all in verse. You know, it happens during the LA riots in 1992.
I remember you teasing a lot about that, like on social. Like, you were talking about that like well before pandemic too. I remember that. And like, what do you think about? Because I know you're on game about it. Like how people have been doing virtual theater and Zoom theaters. Like, I know it's a different feel and it's not the same, but like, how have you been feeling about adapting to digital?
I'm done with it, bro. I'm fucking done with it. It's a means to an end, and I've had my fill. So I look forward to I look forward to the country opening up. Yes, sir. I look forward to not having to continue to do Zoom things. I want to get back into live spaces. I want to be able to congregate with folks in person. So yeah, man, and it's looking like it might happen by this fall. So keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that people are staying safe and healthy out there. Do what you got to do to keep yourself safe and healthy, and hopefully we'll see each other live on a live stage sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and yo, Pink Click, you know, when we back, you know, we back with you, baby. That's what it is. Like, we always got to have Alpharaoh, our day one on all our new ventures. You know, so when we do a live thing, we got to hit up Alpharaoh the God, and of course we had to hit him up for this prototyped wonky ass live stream. I swear, yo, it's like I even got myself I bust my green screen out for this guy so I could just be like little mini David on the corner. But after this, I'm gonna like go through like all my OBS settings, and I swear it's like something really tiny. I don't know what it is, but yeah. But thank you everyone in the chat.
Right, just run it through Discord next time, and that should be a fix.
We shouldn't have to, cause I've told a couple people this like through DM. I've told Retro this as well, that like a lot of these live streams is really like training for us to get to, you know, other live stream content, right? So like this example, for example, where it's like, you know, 2 people, that will hopefully translate over to, you know, doing live podcasts. And then like if we're able to do that successfully, then maybe we could have like 5 people running on OBS Ninja and do a whole a poetry clash. Feel me? So it's like these are little technical hiccups. Like the workshop is cool, and because it's our first one, and because it's a workshop, I feel like we have the leeway to, you know, fuck up here and there, but. It would have been like, yo, so many of our streams have been like, oh, I can't believe that shit worked. And I've said that like on almost every one of our live streams. And this was the one where like, okay, Kuya, you can't fucking win them all. So here you go. And yo, it is what it is, man. But yo, that's how we evolve, baby. It's like, you know, you gotta find out what it ain't to find out what it is. And definitely we're always on our path to improve, you know, our technology and our production to give you guys the best content, the best, most pop-in poetry content on the internets. Feel me? Live podcasts, live poetry clash, which we're gonna get there. We're slowly leveling up our, you know, our live stream and production game to get y'all there. So it's in the works. This is one of those stops, and Mr. Alpharaoh was able to get us halfway there. Feel me?
Hey, and thank y'all for bearing with us. Shouts out to everybody in the chat, Retro, Judas Tongue, and the family, all you guys. Because, thank you. We are always trying to develop and grow and try new things. And sometimes that means that those new things don't go the way that you plan. So every time, really. So thank you, Alex, for always being patient with us, and always appreciate it.
Oh, right quick. Alpharaoh, tell the people where they can get at you.
Y'all can find me on all the socials, Alpharaoh across the board, the way that it's spelled right there on the screen. Or you can visit my website, www.dacamentedjourney.com. I got some exciting news that are coming up, so subscribe to the newsletter. And just hit me up on the socials, man. Let's start a conversation, man. Let's get shit cracking.
Oh. All right, man. So everyone have a great weekend. And thank you, Retro, for the submission. I'm sorry, Nick Jones and Noah. Sorry, Joe, we couldn't get to your poems tonight.
Next time.
Not this time, but next time. So we'll see. There's if you want to try submitting your work, or you want to check out what else we've been doing, you better be sure to follow us at Penclique, PENCLIQUE. On Instagram is our primary social media choice. You can get at Retro. If you love his written work, yo, follow the man. He's a growing star at retro_TR, RETRO_TR. Daniel Hees, get at the Chubby Fat God at where?
At the Chubby Fat. You can hit me at Penclique as well. Daniel J. Hees at penclique.net if y'all want to email me. All those things, y'all. You know where to find us. Us.
All right, gang. Y'all have a good weekend.
Love y'all. Thank you.
Yeah. I didn't even drink. All right, cool. Boom. It's done.